Okay, it's continuing with Sunday. It's the end though. Well, it's around 10 minutes to 7 p.m. my time on Sunday, the last day of May. And believe it or not, the sun is actually gone past the highest point in the sky, at which time it was around 4 o'clock, and the temperature hit 102 degrees. Right now, 10 minutes before 7 o'clock p.m., and the sun has now gone past its zenith, and it's starting its downward trend to set. It's gone back down to 101, and I'm trying to get a view to show you what the sun did at 102 to this lantana. It has at 102 at 4 o'clock this afternoon, this poor plant was showing major signs of wilting. Maybe a better example, that one is recovering fast since it's no longer, it's actually in shade now. And at 4 o'clock, when it was under the direct sunlight of 102 degrees, it really looked distressed, and I was looking at my poor plant. I didn't know what to do. Just was hoping that, the sun would travel down faster so that it will throw my plants into shade and have them recover. So I checked the soil, and they are still moist down there, meaning to say it's not dry. They are still a bit moist. I wouldn't say wet, but moist. So they have that extra moisture to tide them over, and they are recovering pretty darn fast, because at 4 o'clock this poor plant was showing major wilting. Take a look at the oleander and try to get a closer look. Okay. The only good thing is that sun has not fried it up to a crisp. I see, a few blooms that are in fact scorched, but that's probably not from the sun, but it's mainly because that is really spent. But the ones that were in full bloom today are really struggling or hanging in there. I'll see by tomorrow morning how much they recover, and I'll try to get a clip of that so I can have a comparison on record. They're looking pretty sad at this point. Now, one good news is that the bougainvillea is unfazed. Look at that. No sign of wilt, no sign of distress, no sign of sunburn. And better news is that my roses, this little rose plant, all of these green growths here are all new and they're fresh. So, and apparently they have escaped from that blazing sun, saved mostly by this little bush. Not sure what it's called, but thank goodness for that. Now let's take a look at the other plants that are on the windowsill here. I moved the petunia, which was further out. Believe it or not, on this side, that little distance from there to there, translates to major sunburning to just getting some shade. Because just scooching it over just a smidge to the right, my right that is, save this petunia from really suffering more than it should. Although it loves the sun, you know, that 102 degrees at 4 o'clock really was a little bit distressing. I just didn't want to burn the plant. I don't see any burns on it, but it was suffering from some wilt. But, you know, moving it over rescued it, because this side of the sill gets shaded at 4 o'clock by this plant here. Oh, actually, it's a smallish tree, and it's a very good ally. To tell you the truth, it's my partner. Without this little tree here, all of these plants underneath it would be fried to a crisp, and I wouldn't know where to put them so that they get some relief from that punishing sun that they get. Now let's take a look at this is the butterfly bush, which is showing major wilt, but not so bad that it is burnt. You see, those blooms normally would be erect. Erect meaning to say that it would be stiff and standing tall this way. So we know that there's major wilt there. But we'll see how they bounce back by tomorrow morning. Now, thankfully, tomorrow we're not supposed to get triple-digit temps as we did today and yesterday. I think we'll be in the 90s, in the high 90s. So, although the plants are going, I'm going to have to make sure that, you know, these plants recover and are not subjected to further heat stroke. At least maintain their composure. Now, I'd like to show you the coleus. Coleus is doing okay. Actually, look at that. No wilt, right? Not at all. And if anything, this would just fall down in a heap of molten leaves if it were not for this, for the shade that this brush, this shrub does give it. Let's see. The other butterfly bush is also showing wilting here. You know, however, this one is a little bit more resilient than the other one, whereas, let me see. Okay, this is totally spent. It actually should be. I'm going to go ahead and pinch it off, because I don't want the plant to spend any more energy trying to send any kind of water up there when it should be directing it to this other blooms that are, you know, all of these should be erect just like this one, but they're not. No, there's still some life in this one. It's not totally dry, but this one is. So I'll just go ahead and pinch that off. How about this one? This one seems so bright still. This one is. No, this is totally dry. Let's see. How about this one? Yeah? Just Drive, and shows this more, but this is okay. This, no, I'll leave that and see if it gets. Oh, you hear that? Well, begonia's okay. The canna lily blooms are alright. They're showing some wilt, and I have some buds here that still have to come out. So I have one, let's see, 2, and 3, and 4. Waiting for this one to send up a flower spike that it's sending out another leaf out here, and this one. Okay, patience. Now this scorcher suffered some major wilting yesterday. As you can see, this one. See, this was really beautiful, plump, but it's recovered a little bit today. Now this is I keep forgetting what plant this is. This is, oh, I know, I remember, it's a narcissus. And I had it in the back, but I think it was too much in the shade, or too much in the direct sun. I have a sliver of direct sun, morning sun that goes into afternoon sun, and backward. This is, and I think it didn't like it, or maybe it's just too young, so that it needs to become a little bigger before I stick it out in any strong light. This is supposed to be a very fast grower. I've had this a couple of weeks now, and this is what it looks like. Now for the sad news. Oh, my poor ferns. You can see, burned, major burn, burnt. Let's see. All of these are burnt. Now, this is the plant that was there, and I was saying, that it would most possibly not be too affected by that hot sun at 1 o'clock, because it was going to be moving westward in between 20 to half an hour. Yeah. Well, by the time I got back out here and took a look at it, it had burned, not quite to crisp, but I'm going to either have to, cut this out and prune the plant back here. So, lesson learned again. However, this one that was in the back, a little over to the left, which was in more shade and was not in direct sunlight, does not have, let me see, I think it does have some burn here. Now this is part that stuck out and got hit by that 1 o'clock, 101 degree temp. Here's another tip also that was hanging out there. A little bit here too, and a little bit here. So what does that tell me? that I need to make sure that this entire plant is in the shade tomorrow. But take a look at the canna. The canna is doing really well. I like the color. And that's the reason I have it not in direct sunlight, because although it loves the heat, what happens is that that heat does burn and scorch the leaves. So even at 102, so long as it's in some shade for some part of the time, that saves the leaves. Because here's the difference. This is an older leaf, and it's scraggly. Now here's a newer leaf, and that's prettier. This one is also nice. Now, this one is a different color. Oh, okay. It's showing a little more of the red striation and less of the green, and I'm not sure whether that's because the plant is it's really tiny, or what. I'm waiting for this one to send up a spike too. I hope it does it soon, because really, boys and girls, whether we like it or not, whether you know it or not, tomorrow is June and summer has arrived. Now, this is the Purple Heart. It's purple and it's got a variegation. It's supposed to be called pink stripes. It's actually purple stripes. And, yeah, I'm finding that it likes some shade too. So, okay, just adapt and change. Hopefully, look at this. Look at this mess. Okay, it's really bad. I hate it. That fern this grows fast, and I can just prune this back, cut them off. I'll get some new growths there. There's plenty down here. This is the salvia, which is in a little pot. Okay, it's just okay. Luckily, I kind of like stuck it in deeper in the shade, so it's not. There is still some scorching there, but for 102 degree in the Las Vegas desert at 4 o'clock, I would say that it's pretty much unscathed on the poor fern. Well, live and learn. I was just too smart for my own good. Smart alecky, probably better. Look at that. This poor thing is just dead. Oh, sorry, my plant. The bluebells are happy. Look at them. No wilting. I have seen, this plant is not immune from wilting, because I've seen it show some sort of distress even back there where it's in the shade. So what I've been a little bit more liberal in watering and just making sure that gets really a good soaking, and it's keeping it from, well, I guess it was really happy. It was 1:02 at 4 o'clock today. Goodness. Let's take a look at the roses. This hybrid tea, the fresh and new growths, here is a bud, are still out, are still intact. See? Good, happily. And here's another one here that's coming out. And here's this one. I'm just so glad that these have been dropped or fried to a crisp. Now, this one is a bit more distressed, and I'm not sure why, because this is a larger plant. You need to say that it's got more cords on it, and the green stuff that's on it is older than the green stuff that's on here, because these are really fresh, but these are holding up better. I am not sure why, but I'm just happy that, and these are the hybrid teas, so I expect these blooms to grow on really, 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 really tall, long-stemmed stalks. And these also are very, very highly scented, very fragrant. The color is this almost neon pink that seemed to glow in the light. It's really beautiful. And finally, here are the calibrachoas. You know, I thought I called them a different name earlier. I think I called them Cali or whatever. But the right name is calibrachoas. And they're doing really well. They did show a little bit of stress, but they're bounced back really nicely. Look at that. Bounced back really nicely. These are my great vincas, and these are some really tough little plants. Been here for a little while, and they do take everything that the sun can give them. And as you can see, these did not show any kind of scorching or burning at all. Not in the tips at all. And these are my sweet potato ipomoas. That's the lime green one. And this one is called Blackheart. And that's another. There are 4 plants here. 2 of the lime green ones and 2 of the Blackhearts. Now, normally the Blackhearts are really dark and deep purple, almost black, but too much light tend to lighten them a little bit. But I'm thinking, we'll see. I haven't had them for very long, so we'll see how they do, how everybody does during June, because June is another boys. Okay. Well, at least nobody died today. Nobody crashed and burned, and that's a good thing.